Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 126. The album that we're reviewing is Tribe's fourth album, Beats Rhymes of Life, released in 1996. By now, you guys should know who Tribe is. I did a review on the first three albums, and I did a review on Q-Tip's Amplified album, his Kamal the Abstract. I have to do the Renaissance, like I mentioned before, and which I do have, and I did a review on Fife's debut and solo album, his only solo album. What's that shit called? The Ventilation, the LP. I did that earlier today. Check that out. And I did a review on Ali Shaheed Muhammad's first album, Shaheed Dula and Stereotypes. Check that out. Just go on like on my channel, just type in Tribe and they should all pop up. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, this album came out 3 years after Midnight Marauders, and around after Midnight Marauders, Q-Tip was doing a lot of like production for other people. He did stuff for like Craig Mack and did stuff for a couple other MCs like production wise. Ali Shaheed Muhammad, he was busy as well. He was featured on like other people's projects. Like he did some stuff for the Bush Babies. He actually did some stuff for D'Angelo for that the album Brown Sugar, a classic album in my opinion, definitely one of his best albums in my taste. And throughout that same time, they had met a new producer, up and coming producer, and that producer had to happen to be J Dilla, but he went by the name of JD. And Q-Tip had heard a beat tape from him, and he was just in love, like, cause he never heard anything like that. Just like his drum programming, how he arranged samples and stuff like that. And so because of that, they like to do shit so much. They formed a super group called the Umma, and the Umma consists of three members: JD, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, and Q-Tip, and they do the production. So, all right. And just to let you guys know, they do all the beats, the Umma, and Rashad Smith does one of the songs. He did the Hop. Shout out to Rashad Smith. I mentioned him before in the L Cool J Mr. Smith album review, so definitely check that out. But anyways, singles off this album, there's two singles. The singles are Once Again and Stressed Out. The features on the album, Consequence, you guys should know him. He's with he was with Kanye West when he had the whole good music thing going on at the time. From Love and Hip Hop, he was in that. He was also he also everybody should know he had beef with Pusha T from the Clips and all that shit. You know what I mean? But he's actually featured on this album a lot actually, and Consequence. His first appearance on Wax was actually on the Midnight Marauders album on the song The Chase Part 2. So just to you guys should know that. I'm pretty sure you guys know that, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. But he's featured a lot on this album. So, but yeah. So, like I said, the producers are the Umma and Rashad Smith. They do Rashad Smith. He did the Hop, like I said before. So this is what the album looks like. Very dope, you know what I'm saying? Dope artwork right there. Fucking sick. Open it up. See the members, I guess like the members or whatever on its space, you know what I mean? Just holding up some flag, the Tribe flag, you know what I mean? Open it up. That's what the CD looks like. And you open it up. You see their first three albums, and then you see like a VHS with it, like all the videos and stuff like that. So, alright, open it up. And you see all three members, Q-Tip, Fife, and Ali Shaheed Muhammad. You know what I mean? Just saying like their thank yous and stuff like that. Right, it's like kind of like where you go order like merchandise and stuff like that. Like you see the shirts. I wish MCs do that again, like that right there, man. that really shows like dedication to the art. You know what I mean? I think that's an art that's missing. I know, yes, the underground hip hop, the underground rappers do that, but I don't know, man. I just wish like artists still do that. I mean, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, I guess that part of hip hop is dead. I guess I don't know. But there's artists that still do that. But you know how that goes. And then here's like the production credits, and like I said before, the Uma do all the beats, and then like Rashad Smith did like one song. All right. You know how I get down? I'll go through some of the tracks. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Alright. Alright, track 1, Phony Rappers. It's just talking about, you know, whack ass MCs. You know, this is like braggadocious track. Just, you know, just cats like when you step up to them to battle, you know, they freeze up. You know, they don't know what they cracked up to be. That's what I got from that joint, Phony Rappers. Definitely a dope way to start off the album. Track 2, Get It Hold. That's a Q-Tip solo track. Q-Tip, he does his thing. You know Q-Tip. You know, he's always like, he has like that real sensual, laid back type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like he has like that, you know, that sex appeal type of dude. You know what I mean? And he pretty much spit that shit in this track. He definitely does his thing in that song right there. Track 3, Motivators, featuring Consequence. That song was alright. It was another braggadocious track right there. Track 4, Jam, pretty dope track right there. Definitely has like a summer vibe to it. What I got from that joint right there is like, you know, just some niggas like, you know, just in a hot summer, June summer of like that year, I guess 1996 or 95. You know, just getting ready for like a barbecue or some shit like that, and or a house party, some type of thing. And then, you know, when they get there, you know, they try to get the girls' numbers, you know, trying to do what they gotta do. You know what I mean? You know how men are. You know how men do. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope. That was a pretty cool track. I could have seen that being as a single, but you know, it is what it is. Track 5, Crew. That's a Q-Tip solo track. Love that song. Love the beat for that joint right there. A little bit too short in my opinion, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's about like 2 minutes long, but Q-Tip does his thing on that joint right there. Track 6, The Pressure. That was pretty cool. It's another braggadocious track. That was alright. You know what I mean? It was cool. Track 7, Once Again, featuring Tammy Lucas. Pretty dope track. I believe that's the first single off the album. Yeah, it is the first single off the album. Pretty dope video. Like the video you see, if you've seen the video, I'll post it down in the description box. But with that video, it's like you see them cats, they running from the cops, so they run into like the cleaners, like in the dry cleaner, the back of the dry cleaner, and then like you see them rapping in different sections of the dry cleaners and shit like that. Pretty cool. Another braggadocious track, pretty cool right there. Track 8, Mind Power, pretty cool. That features Consequence. You know, just saying like, you know, cats, you know, that are weak-minded and stuff like that. You know, just, you know, like have them on your own type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, don't let people, you know, control your mind. Just have a strong willpower. That's what I got from that joint right there. Track 9, The Hop. That was actually pretty cool. I believe that's a Q-Tip solo track. Give me 1 second. No, it's not. My bad. It's just Q-Tip and Fife. They both do their thing on that joint right there. Love that song. Love the beat for that. There was this one dude I found on YouTube. He actually did the song from scratch. Like he made, like obviously he didn't use the SP1200 like these guys did, but you know, like he found the original sample and he pieced it back together. So I thought it was pretty cool, like the way he did it. But I think it was The Hop or Wordplay. I don't remember, but if I do find it, I'll post it down in the description box. I thought that was pretty cool. I like when cats do that shit. Track 10, Keep It Moving. That's pretty cool. In this song, they address the East Coast West Coast beef. In the first verse, you know, Q-Tips goes first, and he addresses, like I said, the West Coast beef, East Coast West Coast beef. But he kind of goes at Ice Cube because Ice Cube, he actually do shots at Q-Tip in the song Cross Him Out with a K on the West Side Connection's first album. Bow Down, which I do have to do a review on. I do have it in my collection. Dope album. Definitely stay tuned for that shit right there. But he kind of addresses that. He pretty much saying like, yo, I got no beef with you guys, but I ain't no pussy. Like, yo, I ain't no sucker. Like, yo, I ain't that dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'll step to you too. I don't care who you are. And that's what I got from that joint right there. So, pretty cool. Track 11, Baby Five's Return. That's a 5 solo track, and I think Consequences in the joint too. But Five, he does his thing on that joint. He goes in on the mic, fucking sick. Track 12, Separate Together, another dope track. That's another Q-Tip solo track right there. He goes in, very dope. Track 13, What Really Goes On. That's another Q-Tip solo track. He definitely goes in on that joint too. Track 14, Wordplay. Another dope joint. That's like one of my favorite joints on the album. I love the beat for that shit right there. Definitely has like that real ambient nighttime vibe to it. Like the type of joint that, like, you know, if you're in a car by yourself, like you driving in the city or you driving like on I-95, you dolo, you just driving full speed. That's the type of joint you'll play in that joint right there. It's just like that one joint. Or if you had like a stressed out day, whatever, you just want to hear some like cool, soothing music. That's the joint I would play. You know what I mean? Very dope right there. And track 15, Stressed Out, featuring Faith Evans. That's the second single and the last single of the album. Pretty dope joint, self-explanatory. You know, just cats just going through hard times. Like, whether you had it at work, you know, your boss is giving you shit all the time, just always criticizing you for no fucking reason, instead of helping you out. But he or she just criticizing you for no fucking reason, just to do out of spite. You know what I mean? Or you know, bills that that's stressing you out, that you don't have the money to pay and stuff like that. You know, it just addresses stuff like that, and that's a pretty dope track right there. I wish cats made songs like that more, because everything's like money, give me, fuck, all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Which is all good, but I mean, you can't do all that shit all the fucking time. So, but it's interesting because in the video version, Fife, you know, all 3 members, or instead obviously except for Ali Shahi Muhammad, because he doesn't rap, but you know, Consequences in the song, but Five has a verse in the video version, but in the album version, his verse is not in the album version. I never understood that. But only Q-Tip and Consequences in the album version, which is kind of weird, you know what I mean? And you know, around that time, like, you know, Fife and Consequence, they didn't really get along, you know what I mean? Because like, you know, Q-Tip, you know, at the time, like, you know, Q-Tip and Fife weren't getting along at the time too either, you know what I mean? So, and I guess like, you know, I guess Fife wanted to put Consequence on. He wanted to put his cousin out. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to give him some shine. And I guess Fife felt some type of way about that. So, you know, things like that. And that's pretty much it with this review, man. Overall, very underrated in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like this album because of several reasons. Obviously because of, you know, Consequence being on a lot of the songs. Fife, you know, being on the album, but not as much. You know, and it's what really got to people was actually the production. The production was a lot different from their first 2 albums. You know, it was a lot more darker, but a lot more ambient sounding, a lot more laid back, more ambient sounding, and people weren't used to that sound from them. They wanted like the whole jazzy, you know, hard drums and stuff like that. You didn't really get that with this album. You had like a more atmospheric, ambient type of album. You know what I mean? It's funny because people kind of diss this album, but then at the same time, these same people are Jay Dilla fans, but they just don't like this album for some reason. It just makes no sense to me. But I know it does have a cult following, but I do like this album. Is it their best album? No, it's not. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be. But yeah, overall, man, very dope album, very underrated in my opinion. sorry, like I said, a lot of songs don't really have a lot of backstories to them, because a lot of songs are just like a lot of braggadocious tracks and stuff like that. So you know how I get down. I usually go through the backstories, but there's not really much to talk about with these songs. So, but yeah, overall, very dope album, very underrated, dark album, some decent production. You know what I mean? But man, just give this album a chance, man. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. You know what I mean? And by the way, yeah, they came out with this documentary, Beats, Rhymes, and Life. The documentary, it was a good documentary, but my only gripe with that joint was that they focused more on the beef, more so than the actual albums. Like, I wish, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think different from. I'm pretty sure all my subscribers think the same way I do, or at least maybe not. I don't know, but if I was to make a documentary like that, I would go through the making of the album, what equipment they used, the politics they went through, what songs made the album, what songs didn't make the album. But then the documentary would be like 3-4 hours long. And you know how people are today. People have short attention spans, so you gotta please the fucking people. Unfortunately, that shit pisses me off, man. Like, it's just like, me as a hip hop head, like, I like to know the backstory of shit. But people, I guess you want to make it entertaining at the same time, so I can see why they did that. And I'm pretty sure they had like mad footage, but they had to cut it out to make it theater friendly, so to speak. So, but it is what it is. But Tribe Called Quest, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, released in 1996. Like I said, man, if you guys like mid 90s hip hop, you guys like Jay Dilla's like early production, you'll definitely enjoy, like, especially Jay Dilla or JD around the Uma era, like Uma, like from like 96 to like maybe like 98, like that era of JD, then you'll definitely enjoy this album right here. And that's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for more joints. Peace.